All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Ken's 5 Weather Digital Sensor. It is a mostly quiet night. We have a couple of clouds overhead and one or two showers out west, but mostly quiet this evening. If you have any plans to head out this evening, it looks quiet and just a little humid outside. Otherwise, it's going to be a nice night, and temperatures slow to cool back down into the 70s by tomorrow morning. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Join the conversation. We're going to talk weather for the next 15 to 20 minutes here on Ken's 5. Just want to double check everything is working a-okay before we get started, and if the audio is working okay as well. All right, sounds great. Okay, yes, today we hit about 94. We'll take a look at the official numbers in a second, but more important numbers, because it's seasonal heat, temperatures were seasonal this afternoon. And take a look at the progress of the aquifer. This is what we really like to see. 634.4 feet. That is up 1/10 of a foot from yesterday. So the 24-hour change is in the right direction, as opposed to going down, which has been the trend over the last 6 months because of drought and the lack of rain. But last week's rain really helped things out. Helped so much that we're up 10 feet in the last 7 days. It was down to 624 feet this time last Monday. But then those storms came rolling in Memorial Day night, and then that Tuesday night, and then that Thursday night. We had several rounds of storms last week, which resulted in great beneficial rains across the area. And not just in San Antonio, but across the Hill Country, Northwest Bexar County, across the contributing zone, and across the recharge zone. Both those zones are perfect for where the rain needs to fall. And there were some areas in northern San Antonio that picked up 5 to 7 inches of rainfall in that 3 to 4 day span. It was really good and much needed. San Antonio Water System SAWS remains in stage 3. The EAA, the Edwards Aquifer Authority, has come down from stage 5 to stage 4 for permit holders that directly access the Edwards Aquifer. But again, SAWS, stage 3, water restrictions, so that continues. That's, watering based on the last digit of your address. So, my day is Tuesday. So depending on the last digit of your address, we'll tell you more about water restrictions in your neighborhood and for your home. There's more details on the San Antonio Water System website as well. Hurricane season, it is beginning. It began yesterday, and it goes through all the way into the end of November. Andrea, Barry, Dexter, Aaron, Jerry, Karen, Lorenzo, and then Tanya, Van, and Wendy. That is the 2025 slate of hurricane names for the Atlantic season. So yeah, it's expected to be active, as it always is every time during the summertime. We typically see these tropical storms and hurricanes really start to crank out of the Atlantic sometime between late July and mid-September. That's the window where we see a lot of tropical storms and hurricanes that really get going. Okay, so take a look. This is the tropical satellite. This is showing a low chance at tropical development along eastern Florida, the Carolinas. It's a low chance at development, and if it were to be named, Andrea would be the first name to be on the list for 2025. But the Gulf is quiet. Take a look. We have some dust in the atmosphere. This will be moving through South Texas between now and about Wednesday. Small amounts of it, not a ton, but it's enough to impact air quality. And then by Saturday night and Sunday, we'll see another plume move in our direction, and that will be what's impacting air quality later this weekend as temperatures climb. I mean, this will coincide with forecast highs like near 100 to 101 to 102. Jill, what do you got? Tell me. Let's go. Let me know. Grace, we're going to possibly have a cluster of storms up north. So central Texas may see a couple of isolated storms, Grace, but most of that will not make it to San Antonio. So where are you watching from, Grace? I do want to know so I can get more specific when we show you future radar and the storm prediction outlook. We can get you a better detailed forecast for where you are, from where you're watching from. So yeah, that's the dust in the air for tomorrow and Wednesday, small amounts, and then another round of dust moves in by Saturday and Sunday. Temperature-wise, 84, feels like 89. It's humid outside, but it's breezy. That's the saving grace. A nice southeast wind, moving between 17 and 20 miles an hour, partly cloudy. 82 at Bandera, 83 at Stockdale, 86 at Moore and Devine, and 84 at Pleasanton. Karen, I know, Hurricane Karen, can you imagine? That's going to be a crazy hurricane, that's for sure. Jillian, I'm sorry, Jill, I'm sorry. I watched it and it just wasn't perfect. I had an idea of my mind of how I wanted the video to go and it just didn't work out. It wasn't you, Jill, it was me. It was me. Central San Antonio medical area from Grace. Yeah, so I think you're mostly dry tonight and for tomorrow and Wednesday, Grace. It's mainly across the hill country and up farther north that have a better opportunity at seeing a couple of storms late tomorrow night. Not so much tonight, we'll stay dry this evening, but tomorrow night into early Wednesday, that's when we have an isolated chance at seeing a couple of storms. 93 at Del Rio and similar numbers across the Rio Grande. Jill, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Again, it's not you, it's me. It was because it wasn't perfect. I wanted it to segue perfectly into the tropical weather explainer I had already lined up and it didn't work out perfectly. I'm sorry, Jill, I'm sorry. There's radar, it is quiet. There's a couple of isolated storms out in the mountains of Mexico, not to be concerned with. They'll rain themselves out by the time they make it to Rock Springs overnight. In our western counties tomorrow morning. We'll watch maybe one or two isolated storms out near Bandera, Kerrville, Uvalde, Hondo. And then tomorrow, high temperatures, mid-90s, sunny, some haze in the sky because of the dust. And then late tomorrow night, there may be one or two storms that drift farther south. Again, north of the hill country, most of these should weaken on approach towards south central Texas. Jill, that'd be great. That'd be actually perfect. And I zoomed out on my camera, and it looked fine, but a selfie stick would definitely help. For the early morning commute, yeah, so if you're traveling anywhere towards like Bandera, maybe towards Sonora down I-10, there may be a couple of storms tomorrow morning, but most of them should remain out west of San Antonio. Yeah, so just mainly west overnight through tomorrow morning, and then same thing late Tuesday night into early Wednesday. So here's the severe prediction outlook for tomorrow. It says Wednesday, but I'll rewind it right there. So, right, perfect. So anywhere across like central Texas is like a level 2 out of 5. The marginal risk does extend all the way down to Kerrville, northern Kendall County, and Gillespie County. It's a level 1 out of 5. That just tells you that all the storms that form in this area near Abilene, San Angelo, they're going to make their way south. But by the time they do, they make it to the hill country, they'll weaken pretty quickly, and we're not expecting much coverage in San Antonio. If we do see rain, it'll be isolated storms late tomorrow night after 10 p.m. into early pre-dawn Wednesday morning. That's what we're watching out for. Grace, you're very welcome. And after the rain chances Tuesday and Wednesday in the overnights, late evenings, early mornings, before sunrise, after that, high pressure takes over, and by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're ramping up the heat. Daytime highs like upper 90s, lower 100s, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday. So we're cruising into June with somewhat seasonal heat, but by this weekend it goes up a level. This is when we're going to be concerned with heat exhaustion, heat stroke. Probably we'll see heat advisories or heat warnings issued on Saturday and Sunday. So limit time outdoors. If you have outdoor plans this weekend, bring plenty of water. Find shade, take breaks, because while the heat we're seeing through Wednesday and Thursday, not bad, it gets worse Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Daytime highs maxing at 100 to 102. That's pretty hot. That's pretty hot. And remember, summer hasn't officially started yet. That officially begins on June 20th. We're still technically in late May, based on astronomical seasons. And depending on if something tropical can get going, like on the 12th, the 13th, and 14th, because some models depict a weak tropical depression or tropical storm moving into like Louisiana or Texas sometime around the middle of June, that may increase our chance for rain and bring down temperatures a little bit. We'll see what happens. It's still like 10, 11 days out, so we have a lot of time to watch the tropics. But as you saw, Andrea is the first name on the 2025 list of hurricane names. And then it wraps up with Van and Wendy. But our forecast for the next 7 days, aside from some overnight late evening rain chances, we stay pretty dry in San Antonio. Download the KENS 5 app. It is free in the App Store. We'll have daily updates, notifications if any storms move into the area late tomorrow evening and then late Wednesday night as well. Also with any heat warnings, heat advisories that are issued, you'll have the latest in your hand, in the palm of your hand. With any weather updates that come across our KENS 5 weather team. That'll be sent directly to you on the KENS 5 app. It is free in the App Store. That's it for weather, guys. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great Monday night. Tomorrow, again, 94 degrees, partly cloudy, maybe an isolated shower in the morning and afternoon. Better chance later in the evening, but still 20, 30, 40% is not certainly amazing rain chances. And we look like we dry out by the end of the week. High temperatures near Saturday 100 to 102. On Sunday, we'll be live again in about 30 minutes on KENS 5 News at 10. So tune in for another update on the tropics, on weather. We'll have another update on weather and, of course, all local news and sports coming up on KENS 5 News at 10. Otherwise, have a great Monday night, guys. Be safe, and we'll see you later.